Okay, so this is the Ilima flower, or the flower of Oahu, the Oahu Lei. And so you should pick these flowers in the morning time because that's when they just bloom, so when it's fresh, right? And how you pick it is you kind of just squeeze the green part at the bottom and it just pops off like that. It just pops out, and then you don't actually have any of the stem, it's just the bud. And you have to be really careful because these flowers are super delicate and you can just smash them or damage them. See, but they very easily just pop out when you squeeze both sides of the green bottom. Okay, so this flower is really delicate, so it's really hard to string it on. So what I've been doing is I just put it on top of the table, and then I bring the needle down right in between the hole where the flower, in the center of the flower, and then just kind of really gently push it up against the rest so it kind of just looks like that. And then I've just been kind of doing it on this needle, and then later you can attach it to the string and then push it down onto the actual string for the lei, because right now it's just on the needle, but it's really delicate, so oh gosh, oh my goodness. Okay, so I'm just really gently pushing them onto the actual string and then just pushing them down to the bottom in little parts. Oh gosh, in little parts though, because otherwise they kind of just don't all push down, like just in little sections. No, some of the other ones, see this little green part here, what you want to do is you want to just with your fingers pop that off, because then you can easier see the actual hole right there, and then just poke it straight there. Oh gosh, they're getting wilted. So you just, honestly this takes a little while, but you just have to keep pinching off. See the little bottom there? I just pinched that right off of the bottom of this, and there's another one right there, and then you're just poking it straight through the bottom. You should just see it. It comes up right on either side of that, or right through that bloom right there, and it should go down. But sometimes what happens is you don't poke it correctly, and then it kind of doesn't get into the center and breaks off on the side. So that happened with that one. So you kind of want to have more flowers than you think, because they're just so fragile. Yeah, they're just so fragile that it's really easy to poke them wrong, and then they just break as you string them up. But you should be able to, just want to you got to be really patient.
You got to have a lot of flowers.
Yeah, and you got to have a lot of flowers so you have extra, just in case stuff happens, right?
It's about 1,000 flowers per lei.
Yeah. We did not have 1,000, so that's why we're just making, no, this one was broken. That's why we're just making the wrist lei. Just the little one. So for the needle, for this one, what you need to have a very skinny kind of as you can get needle. See, this needle's pretty skinny, and you still want sort of a point, right? Because otherwise it's hard to actually poke it through the flower. And then with this specific type of lei, you need the end to not be super prominent, where you would put the string right there. It can't be, it has to be really skinny, otherwise the flowers, when you push them down, they'll break when they go over that, because it's a different width than this part, and then it just falls off because the flowers cannot handle this part on the bottom. So you really just have to have the correct lei needle and just be super careful with them, otherwise they're gonna fall apart. Okay, so now actually, like I said before, you can, because these are so small, the flowers, you can actually string a whole bunch of them just onto the needle, leave them there, and then later actually connect it to the actual string and then string it on. So you just want to pull it through, right, like that, through the eye of the needle. Actually not an eye because it's open, but
hook.
Yeah, a hook. And then I kind of like to do it in sections so they don't all fall off, because some of them are going to fall off. You just put your fingers above them equally so that they don't rip, and then just slide them down. You gotta just go for it, because it's really scary to push them down, but you gotta just put them on like that, see? And then just keep doing it with however much more you have. we should be good. See, and you just gotta be careful right over the eye right there, because there's a little bit of difference, and it shouldn't be that much. Okay, so for this type of lei, well, we made a wrist lei, and what you want to do is just tie it onto the wrist, because I don't think we quite got to the point where we totally finished it, because the flowers we had was limited for this type of lei. But the part that we did get, you just tie a little square knot. It doesn't have to be a complex knot for this, because it should stay on. And then, oh, that flower's falling off. And then, yeah, you're right.